There are many components that make a fisherman, a skillful one and an effective one. Jesus was not in a hurry to call them. He stood by the sea and observed. He saw something in them that would be needed in effective soul winning. He saw the skill. He saw the zeal. He saw the discipline. And he said, gentlemen, come. I want to change your mission, but don't throw away the skill. Don't throw away the zeal. Don't throw away the discipline. This discipline I have seen in you that has made you good fishers will still be needed when you become fishers of men. This is the first thing we observe. When God comes to men, most times it is the mission that he changes. The discipline, that means you do not have to wait until you understand your assignment to begin to invest in skill, invest in discipline, invest in strategic knowledge. It will not be a waste even when you eventually find your place. Learning obedience will be useful. Whether you have found your assignment or not, learning diligence will be useful. Whether you have found your assignment or not, learning time management, all of these things that make men efficient will not be thrown away just because God called you. This is very important. That means here up front, I will teach you that even if you have not found your place in life and destiny in terms of purpose, you can begin to build the skills of a fisherman. Because when Jesus calls you, you will still be a fisher. It's only that you will now become of men. Are we together now? Yes. Come, follow me. The first instruction to becoming a fisher of men, he was speaking to people who were already skilled, and yet he said, come. Then he said, follow me. You would think he would call them and say, leave being fishers of fish and become immediately the fisher of men. There are consequences if you skip this step in your becoming a fisher of men. No matter how professional you are, no matter how successful you are, one thing is for sure: when God calls you, you start afresh. This is for sure. Your skill remains, but he will not just switch you immediately from your life or whatever you were doing. The business of men is very delicate and it needs training. He called these people and he said, follow me. You will need a season of following. In other words, there are patterns you will need to learn. You will need to watch me do it. Watch my approach to the lost. Watch my approach. They followed him to the house of Zacchaeus. They came and met him at the well with the woman. Remember the woman at the well? They saw different templates. He was training them to be fishers of men. For every believer who desires to answer that mandate of being a fisher, the first assignment is not to go to the field. The first assignment is to follow and learn. Learn what makes for efficiency as far as winning the lost is concerned. Now listen very carefully. I wrote something here, that the first requirement in becoming an effective fisher of men is your training, not the fishing, not evangelism. The first requirement in becoming a fisher of men is your training, not the fishing itself, or in our case now, not the evangelism. It's amazing how many people want to evangelize. They want to be part of the programs that lead to winning the lost, but they will not allow themselves to be trained. You are going to be learning that your life will be laced with a lot of inefficiency and pain and defeat and regret, even though your intention is sincere. If you do not follow and you suddenly immerse yourself into a fisher of men, you will cause a lot of casualty at the sea. Are we together?